that's hopefully going to be the plan. First of all, we're going to ignore the animal pyjamas and we're going to talk about this. So I've been getting a lot of questions on my last video about how I made my arm for my Bucky Barnes cosplay, and to be completely honest, it has been an absolute nightmare to get right. This is actually my first ever arm that I made. It's from a file on Do3D, their original Winter Soldier arm, but as you can tell, it's got this big gap in the middle because I had to heat it up, bend it out, stretch it to fit at the elbow, modify that top bit to actually fit because it just pinched my elbow like crazy. And yeah, it looks pretty good. You've got this massive gap. So I've been keeping my eye out for different files, seeing what's about. Do3D actually released another one for the White Wolf arm. So I went and purchased that one, and that one is actually modular. It's got lots of little bits that you can attach, use magnets, things like that. This is the bicep for that piece, which I've welded together with a soldering iron, so it's all one piece. So if I show you this, now the issue with this one is it doesn't fit under the jacket. When my arm's flat, I don't know if you can see that, it just falls off the shoulder. I know I could probably get a strap, but point is it doesn't fit under there properly. So my next thought was to maybe use the forearm of that model and combine it with this one. So let me just pop this back on again. That fits nicely under there. So I thought, what if I print off the forearm of that, because it's got this magnet piece there, which for some reason has vanished. Anyway, it has a magnet here, so in theory you should be able to slide your hand in and use a magnet to cover that piece, so your whole forearm is covered. Sadly, printed at 100% size, weren't full committed with it, high infill and everything, and I can't get my hand through. So next thing, I went back to the drawing board and I printed off this one. So I scaled it up and I printed a draft piece of just the wrist to see if I could get my arm through it. And luckily, I can just about get my arm through it. So I thought, great, I can scale it all up, print it. I think that was 110%. But I wanted it to be slightly bigger because it was quite tight and I was worried, you know, when you warm up, my hand might swell up and then I can't get it off. So again, I printed it in a bigger size, and that was 115%, and it fit perfectly. So I printed this part of the arm to do a test, and it's way too big. It doesn't work. It's way too wide, like forearms like Popeye. It's bigger than the bicep, so that one was out the window. Finally, I went back to the original file, which was this one, and it came with a piece that actually seals the forearm gap, you know what I mean. But every time I printed that one, I've had the same issue where I can't get my hand through and it pinches really bad at the top. So I actually took that into Nomad Sculpt on my tablet and I stretched out these sections a bit, made the wrist a little bit bigger, printed it off in a draft, and I tried this on, and excuse my trousers, and I think it's gonna work. So as you can see, it just about joins up right, and yeah, so only issue with this one is the wrist is still slightly too big. So again, I've gone back into Nomad Sculpt and I've scaled that down, and I'm currently printing another draft piece, and hopefully that'll be the one. And if it works out, I'll print that with all the infill and everything, get it painted up, and it should slide over and match this one. That's the plan. Obviously any gap that will be shown, I use this chrome silver glove which kind of hides it. Yeah, that's hopefully going to be the plan. But like I say, I've got that many different arms. There's like several that I've thrown in the bin because I just got stressed out with it. But this has been an ongoing project for about, well, over 2 years now for me, trying to get this arm right, and hopefully I think I'm nearly there with it. So it's a modified Do3D file. Anyone that's used that file before will know This is notoriously a pain, and every other Bucky that I've seen with this version, they've had to do that gap as well, which is why I thought let's just take the file into a 3D sculptor and just modify it slightly. So that's it. That's what I thought. I'd just give a rundown of the arms and stuff. And I'm currently working on a new mask, which I'll just show you quick. This one is, I had to put some foam in because it kind of sat like that. So I had to put some foam in to kind of hold it there, but it's too high. So I printed this again. I haven't painted it yet, and it fits much better and doesn't, you know, I haven't got that big gap under my chin, so I just need to get a strap for that. I'll probably do an update video once I've printed and painted it if this one all works out. If you don't see another video, then it failed. So follow me if you want to see more, and if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments.